Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of The Evolving Activist. Today I wanted to talk about fun. I was thinking back about a business presentation I watched some time ago that really kind of had an impact on me as an entrepreneur. And one of the things that the presenter was talking about was it has to be fun or they won't come. She was talking about, if you're not having fun in your business, if your business just feels like a drag and it feels like a chore and drudgery, then people are not going to be attracted to it. Then you're not going to get clients that way. It's going to be a whole lot more work for you, and you're just not going to attract people into your business. So she's like, it's got to be fun or else they won't come. It's got to be fun for you or else they won't come. And so she was talking about how when things don't feel fun for her in her business anymore, she takes a day off, or she does something different. She does something to shake it up and enjoy herself a little bit, right? So she's not always so focused on the operations of the business, or the client generation, or all that stuff that can sometimes feel really heavy. And today I was just thinking about, that's actually a really good piece of advice for activists. There's a few things that have kind of made me think of that, help me make that connection. One was at an event when somebody came up to me and gave me a big hug and said, "I'm so sorry for how sad you must be all the time advocating for animals." And it took me by surprise, because I thought, I'm not sad all the time. There's actually a lot about animal activism that I find really joyful. I find incredibly joyful, and it's not just in the good news that happens from time to time. Yes, there's a lot that's really heavy, and there's a lot that feels like drudgery, and there's a lot that I don't want to do. Pretty much like all of us, but I think sometimes we forget to share the good things. We forget to remember the fun things. The fact that, it feels good when you have a sense of camaraderie, and that when you're all in something together, and that, you can have a bit of fun with it, So that was one thing. The other thing that kind of helped me make this connection today was that I went to an event it was in support of a local rooster rescue that I'm a fan of, Rooster House Rescue in Fall City, Washington. And they're a vegan rescue and sanctuary for roosters and hens and ducks and turkeys and even a peacock. So geese. They take care of the underdogs of the rescue world. A lot of the time, the chickens are the most abused animal in the animal agriculture world by volume, by number of animals, number of beings that are abused, and roosters particularly. And so, Jenny has done an amazing job. I did an interview with her. I'll put a link to that in the comments. But she's done an amazing job of bringing in just a really sweet, positive vibe into her rescue and her sanctuary work. And I know it's really hard for her. There's a lot of work. That you lose residents. Chickens these days are not bred to be healthy beings. They're bred to get big and fat so that you can kill them, right? So it's always hard in a sanctuary setting when animals move on, and you don't really have time to grieve. You're too busy. You still got to feed the rest of the animals. You still got to keep going, and sometimes it just does feel like there's this tsunami of work. And what I loved about today was a group of us gathered at the sanctuary to learn how to make vegan treats. So we made biscotti and truffles and caramels and and icing to decorate gingerbread cookies. And it was a fun way to spend an afternoon. And at the same time, enjoy being around other vegans, but not everybody who was there was vegan, right? So it was also an opportunity for people who were not in alignment with that to kind of to see that, wow, some of the stuff that we can do, like we can make meringues and icing and all these fun things that we don't have to utilize animal products, and it can taste delicious, and we can hang out in a really chill, relaxed, low-key, fun event, and still be doing some good. Half of the cost of the workshop was to benefit the rescue, and the other half was obviously to cover things like supplies, and Gina, who's an amazing culinary expert who came in and shared her expertise. And it was a fun day. And it really kind of got me thinking. It's like, so many of us sit in this world where activism isn't fun. It's overwhelming. It's serious work. We always feel like we have to be serious about it. And, the rate of activists burning out is high. Yes, it's serious work. Of course it is. We wouldn't be doing it otherwise. It's necessary. It's urgent. There's an overwhelming amount of it. And what if we could still be doing good and having fun at the same time? What if we could bring a sense of joy into what we do? What if we could bring a sense of levity, or just mischief sometimes, right? It doesn't always have to be so earnest. And I think that when we get too caught up in the earnestness of it, and it's always so serious and always so heavy, and one, yeah, we're not doing ourselves any favors because we will burn out, but two, we're being a martyr. Frankly, we're putting ourselves in a position where we are playing both victim and persecutor. If you look at the drama triangle, and rescuer, actually, we're kind of playing all three. We're basically saying, we're putting the guilt out, right? This is terribly serious work, and you need to get behind it. And if you don't, if you have fun, you're not taking it seriously enough, or if you're not listening to the message, you're part of the problem, and all of this. We're also playing the victim, where it's like, a lot of the time, either by proxy, I'm standing in for these others who are being oppressed or exploited, or you're just taking on too much of it yourself because you're taking it so seriously. And look, I absolutely don't want to kid you. This is not something that's not serious. This is very serious. Any one of us who is working for positive change in the world has a big job ahead of us. Every one of us who is trying to create a kinder and more compassionate life and planet has an uphill battle. And if we can bring some fun into it, maybe it won't be quite so hard. Maybe it will be just a little easier. So we need to learn to attract, right? We need to learn to attract people to our causes, attract them to our message, spark their curiosity. And when we're always so serious or angry or earnest all the time, sometimes it's clear to other people that we're not having fun. And so they're like, well, why would I be a part of that? Right? People like to have fun. Surprise, right? So you're more effective. You're more effective. Why do you think so many people use comedy, satire, humor, anything like that to further a cause? It's because it can be more effective. When we're having fun, we're more attractive. What we say is more palatable. And frankly, we're happier, okay? Because I'm just going to come back to us right now, us little activists, right? We need to have a bit more fun. We really, really do. We need to have more fun. We owe it to ourselves. We also owe it to everybody, human or non-human, that we are advocating for, okay? To bring some joy. We're, after all, selling an amazing proposition, right? We're inviting people into a world that is kinder and more compassionate and more ethical and more inclusive. We're inviting people into an amazing future. Why wouldn't we have fun? Why wouldn't we be joyful when we make that invitation? So my invitation to you right now is to look at your activism, to look at where you're trying to make a change in the world, and see where you can inject some lightheartedness, see where you can inject some fun or some joy, right? First of all, give yourself permission to feel joy. Give yourself permission to have fun, right? If that means dressing up to get attention so that people will stop and read the sign that you might be holding, if that means, you know, those people who stand on the side of the road and have to hold signs for businesses, right? I mean, these people are being paid like nothing, right, to stand on the side of the road with all the angry little commuters driving past them and hold their little sign, hey, come get your tax return done with us, or, you know, hey, come and try these mattresses, or whatever it is, right? You know, the ones that get noticed are not the ones who stand there like this with their sign, right? The ones who get noticed are the ones who are dancing and who are joyful and who wave at the motorists driving past, right? They've learned how to bring fun and joy into their work, and that gets them noticed, right? Sometimes to the point of being written up in the local newspaper. So get creative. Start looking for opportunities. Where can I have fun? What am I good at? What do I love doing? What can I do that I really, really love? Right? Like Gina today, she is really, really freaking good at cooking, right? She's good at making delicious things, right? So, and I love doing that. So how can I offer that, right? How can I offer that in service of the cause that I'm behind, right? So she is offering her talent and what she loves in service of both vegan activism and rescue work, right? And at no point, like today, it was not all like, you know, like any kind of heaviness. There was no lecturing. There was no, you should, you know, it was just like, wow, check it out. You can do this, right? I feel so full because I ate so many biscotti because I love them. And now I don't have room for my truffles. So I'm just going to have to save them for tomorrow, right? But find things like that, right? Find ways to bring joy, even if it's, you know, I did one time when I was feeling really kind of down and overwhelmed by stuff. I made a sign that says free hugs, and I went and hung out in a local coffee shop, and I just said, hey, anyone, you know, you want a hug? You want a hug? And it was amazing because a lot of people came up and asked for a hug and got a hug. And even people who completely disagreed with the position that I was taking on a particular issue, you know, they were like, well, I guess you won't want to hug me. And I'm like, hey, why not? You're a human being, I'll hug you. And so I did. And it lightened everything. People coming into the coffee shop feeling discouraged by current events, And some of them cried and some of them laughed. Everybody left smiling, who everyone had a hug, right? And I felt so much better. I felt so much happier because I just went and did something that was a little bit fun. I didn't go and commiserate and feel awful and try and change the world by being earnest. I was like, you know what? I can't change the world right now. I can't change what just happened, but I can go and give people a hug. I can do that. And I'm going to enjoy it. I need a hug. They need a hug. Let's go give people hugs, right? And so I went out and gave people hugs, and it was wonderful, and it was happy making. And then I felt replenished. I felt filled up. So then I could go forward from there, right? So my invitation to you today, give yourself permission to have fun. Find an opportunity. What can you do in the next 15 to 30 days that is going to be a joyful way to advocate for the cause that you stand behind? That is a joyful way to make a positive change in the world. How can you have fun and encourage kindness and compassion? And I'd love to hear what you end up doing. I'd love to hear that. And in fact, I'm going to check the messages. In fact, here's the thing. Hashtag joyful activism. Send me a message or post on my wall or put it in the comments, right? What did you do between now and the end of, let's just say the end of the year, right? What did you do in the next 3 weeks? That is having fun with your activism. I'd love to hear that. Let's share it. Let's enjoy it. Let's inspire each other. Let's inspire each other with ideas to have fun. Because if it's not fun, they won't come. Remember that. It's true. It really is. When we bring this heavy blanket of obligation and need and pressure, it's kind of repulsive to people. But when we bring some light and some joy and some happiness into what we do, even when we're dealing with an incredibly difficult and dark subject, people will listen. People will be interested. People will want to engage. So get out there and have fun. And tell me what you're doing. I'd love to hear. And so for now, that's it for me. Have a wonderful day or evening wherever you are in the world. And I will catch you on the flip side having some fun.